Welcome back to Go. I'm Blair Malstravich, and we're here at the WIldife Haven, the Rehabilitation Centre in WIldife, Manitoba. Now, of course, rehabilitation is a big part, as you saw earlier, but now we're going to talk about the educational side. So we actually have two guests now. Shauna, tell me who this special guest is.
This is Milan, our Mississippi kite, and she's actually our newest education ambassador to the WIldife Haven education program.
So that's a pretty nice title for an animal. What exactly does that mean?
It means that she's not actually releasable to the wild, but she does accompany our wildlife experts out to schools and classrooms and public presentations to teach people about wildlife and give them a sense of responsible animal stewardship and conservation.
Now, how are the kids reacting to that?
They absolutely love her. Fortunately, she's spent a lot of time with people, so she's a very personal bird. And when kids meet her, they always ask about the dark colors around her eyes and where she comes from. So we're able to talk a lot about the bird's natural history, as well as the interesting story about how she came to Manitoba.
Tell us that story.
Milan was actually the single chick of a pair of Mississippi kites who flew up to Manitoba, which is unusual because they actually aren't from Manitoba. We don't normally see them here. And unfortunately, she was abandoned by her parents, and so she was rescued, and she made her way to WIldife Haven eventually.
Nice. Why do you think it's so important to, teach the younger generation about the importance of wildlife in our ecosystem, in our world?
Well, you know what? I think nowadays we learn a lot about wildlife from TV and from media, but it's also really nice to learn about wildlife in person. And so Milan really brings that dimension to our education program, where you can see the bird in front of you, learn about it, experience it, and take home some important information about the bird that you'll remember for a long time.
Great. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
Still more to come from WIldife Haven. Stay with us.